Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Friday, September the 16th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. And we are here to go over an extremely busy 14-game MLB main slate right up my alley, in my sweet spot. I am fired up, Crash. How are you doing on this Friday?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Coach. Last night was good. We gave out some really good plays for the NFL slate, so hopefully some of our viewers got to take advantage of that. Our pitching was really good, for the baseball, but the bats were just dry. I mean, there was probably only 2 or 3 home runs all night, so no one was hitting any home runs. So tonight they'll probably be hitting 30. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, we snuck into the cash. So it was good. Had some DK and Yahoo winners. Yahoo's my go-to, man. I say it every day, but jump in there, guys. It is awesome. Yeah, it was an interesting night. And then, I was all mad right off the jump though, because I couldn't find the football game at first.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, where the hell's the football game? So then I saw that whole, because I had not seen that whole Prime Video garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little bit of a curveball. It was interesting, but yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. I was fired up again. I just, the moderator, you and Steven are the awesome NFL guys, but hey, my captain got it done, Crash.
Yeah. I know.
He did. Mike Williams. I was so proud of that pick. So Mahomes on last Sunday, Williams, I've got I'm going to call it an NFL hot streak. Can I call it that?
Yeah, you should maybe put out a bonus lineup for our members.
No. No, I'm totally, and the lineups I cashed were strictly because you and Steven are pros and you got it done. I am going to stay in my lane, NBA, MLB, and a little golf. That's where I make my dough. I'm not dumb enough to get cocky because I went with Mahomes, real stretch there. And then Williams wasn't a stretch either because their other receivers were hurt. So there you go. But anyway, we get off subject. Great to have everybody in here. We have a nice group starting out today. We're still trying to decide on the exact time to roll with this podcast. I know Crash and I were talking about it prior, and we sort of like doing this later one because we have updated lineups and weather and news, and it really makes us feel stronger with our recommendations so things aren't shifting as the day goes on. I just want to make sure we're getting out there to enough people because I know there are so many other DFS podcasts going on at the same time. And we're hoping that we're your choice. That's for sure. We want to be the go-to spot for everybody. So let us know, though, in chat if you have a comment anywhere in here. We want to hear from everybody. You like this time frame? You think we definitely should go back to the earlier one? Whatever you guys think and gals, let us know because that's really important to us. We are there for our members. And we're there in front of the paywall for those that want to follow us in sports. And we do all the main sports, 7-day-a-week podcast here in MLB. We have the 2 podcasts for the NFL, 6:50 on Thursdays, and then 8 p.m. on Saturdays. So tomorrow, 8 o'clock, be in there. We're giving away 5 Millie Maker tickets, and Crash and Steven and I will go over that entire Sunday NFL slate. And then, of course, right now we're trying this 5 o'clock spot, and we're going to see if that catches on, and we may tweak it around a little bit. So definitely keep giving us that feedback. We'd love to hear it. Payne, did you hit the Yahoo all day yesterday with me? I hope so. I hope that you hit that. Let's say hello to some of these folks, Crash.
Okay.
Nathan Feudy, first one in. Congratulations, Nathan. You're awesome. Feeling the pain there with our man, Pain Blank SM. Rose now, this is 3 podcasts in a row. I think Rose is one of the family now after catching the last couple. Of course, our buddy RJ, King of Smack. We know he's in there. Friday Night Lights tonight for King of Smack. JT, King of All Trades. The whole group is in here. Boy from Cali, I think, is in too. Yep, he's in there. So fired up here for this entire slate. We've got good weather. Have you seen any last minute? Let me do a last second check since we're doing this later show. Nope, weather's all good everywhere. I will say that a little bit heavier wind blowing out in San Fran, but it's always swirling there, and it's going to be cool. So basically, that early Colorado-Chicago game's over with already, so we don't have to worry about it. So no weather concerns, which is amazing for 14 games spread out all over the country, but I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We are going to give away 2 Millie Maker tickets during this podcast, too. I threw that out there on Twitter and TikTok. So here we are on the way in as we start attacking this slate. If you can give us a quick thumbs up if you're on YouTube, we'd appreciate that. And definitely subscribe and hit the little alert button. This way you know exactly when any of our podcasts post. We would appreciate that. If you're catching this live on Twitter, like and retweet so we get the word out there. And if you want to join us, you can go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can try out any of our memberships. If you want to just go for the 3-day for this weekend, today, Saturday, and Sunday, you get our golf stuff, and then, of course, all of our baseball, and then the NFL, that little thing they call the NFL. If you want to catch us on Twitter, we're at DFS Coach Talk. Crash is at JP Davis 1982, and I'm at Joe Sarvati. And if you win one of the tickets, shoot us a DM at DFS Coach Talk with your PayPal email, and we will send that out to you immediately. All right, I am going to also hit the refresh button on the ownership numbers because we're going to refer to those as we go. Crash, I want to get a little overview of the slate from you as we dive in, because the reason I love this slate so much is there's really not any chalk. I mean, you can pretty much take any stack you want and not feel like you're losing any leverage or anything anywhere. And pitchers are spread out because there's question marks. You got some average pitchers going against bad teams, some people coming back from injury. So really, it's not hard to be contrarian today without even trying.
Yeah, there's five stacks that I like right now. And one of them is very projected low ownership. So I'm not sure if it hasn't. The last one you posted in our Discord, is that the most recent, or do we have more recent stacks?
There's one that's an hour later that I just uploaded. So what I'll do is we'll go over those, and if you have, when we get to your stack, we'll just check it out and see what the updated is on all 3 sites, because we like to, we tout all 3 of them: DraftKings, Fanduel, and Yahoo, and we also are big proponents of PrizePicks, and then, of course, which leads me to our presenting sponsor, which is Boom Fantasy. So we want to thank Boom Fantasy for stepping up and partnering with Coach Talk, and we will have our top 2 picks for both PrizePicks and Boom Fantasy at the end of the podcast. DePrince is in the building. Tony A., what's up, my man? Jim Parrish. I'm loving Jim Parrish. Hi, Coach Crash, Mom as well. Thank you. Oh, okay. That is great to hear, man. So your mom, I know you had said you took her to the doctor the other day and missed the podcast. So thank goodness she's feeling better. That is fantastic news, Jim. All right. Let's see. What else do we want to say? Anything else before we dive in? Because this is going to be nose to the grindstone here to get all these games in.
Let's get after it because we do have 14 games. So.
Okay. Fear Money's in. How you doing, Fear Money? Let's get this. You didn't miss anything. We drug our feet for 5 minutes to let everybody slide into not Discord, but our podcast. All right. First one, Crash. Here we go. 705. It is the Miami Marlins at the Washington Nationals. It is 76 degrees, still warm in Washington. No wind to speak of. 7.5 low total. 3.91 implied for the Marlins. 3.59 for the Nationals. Jesus Luzardo, the lefty, 8.7K. And Josiah Gray, the rookie right-hander, 7.6K for the Nationals. So, Crash, let's do this if you don't mind. I want to dive right straight to get your feedback on the ownership with these guys because I was a little interested early. I've been, trying to determine if I want to put Luzardo in there or not. He is just the last guy looking in now. I've made a change in the last hour. He was going to be my value pitcher. I still like him a little bit today, but he's, he's 8,700 and he's the 7th highest owned right now, projected at, let me make sure that I get this. Yeah. He's the 6th highest at 15.3% with only 11.4% chance of being a top 2. So, I got to take these out. My Alexa's looking up Jesus Luzardo for me.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah. But a -4 on leverage there. So that bothered me a little bit as well. And then, that is on DraftKings. And then as far as who he's going up against there, where was he at? Because I was a little, Josiah Gray is the 5th highest, 21% share, which I thought was super high personally on DraftKings, but only a 9% chance of being a top 2 pitcher, which is a -12. So that scared me on both of them. On Fanduel, we've got Luzardo at about 9.5% ownership, and Josiah Gray second at 14% ownership. Whoa. So a lot of love for Josiah Gray today. And then let's check out Yahoo real quick. And the reason I'm spending a little more time with this because it was a surprise to me, to be honest with you, that they were that high. Now, when you go to Yahoo, it's a lot different. Luzardo not getting much. He's down at 9%. And let's see, where is Josiah Gray? Only at 4% on Yahoo. So real big variance there, man. Tell me what you think about these pitchers.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by the Josiah Gray ownership, at least the projected ownership, because I don't think that he's in that great of a spot. I've seen some of the numbers. There's like 5 bats that have hit 333 or better against Josiah Gray from Miami. So I'm kind of thinking that Miami might be a team that I'm going to have a few players from just as a GPP, well-owned plays. Joey Wendell and Brian Anderson would be the 2 main ones for BVP with Miami. So I kind of like that. On the other side, Lane Thomas has really good BVP against Luzardo, righty-lefty matchup there. So, you could probably get 2 or 3 guys in this game. Very cheap, very low owned. So, this could be a key game from a GPP perspective.
It makes sense. I see that 7.5 total in Vegas. I think Luzardo is a decent play today. I like him better than Gray personally, but me too. I think I'm going to fade both of them, Crash. I just don't have a good enough feel for these 2 young teams, all the young pitchers, young hitters here. And I'm going to end up just probably skipping. I will say though, if I don't play Luzardo, which I'm not leaning to do right now, Lane Thomas at 2.8 has been pretty red hot. He's hit the ball well. And, I think a one-off maybe on each side here. But I want to read those numbers because that really sort of talked me out of these 2 pitchers even more so when I saw that they were both 2 of the top 6 owned pitchers right now projected. That's hard to believe. To me.
That is very hard to believe. But
Go ahead.
I'm just seeing the numbers, and I like a couple of these Miami bats, and Lane Thomas. So those, I bet 3 of those guys will find a way into my lineups. I really do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I may end up blank in this game, to be honest with you. And that's, backing up. I put a bonus Yahoo all day out there, and Luzardo's my second pitcher. And I decided I didn't want to change it. I'm going to stay with him, but it's not like I'm doing it jumping up and down excited,
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's go to game 2. It is the Baltimore Orioles and Toronto Blue Jays. It is at 7:07. I assume the roof will be open in Toronto, so that'll be a little more conducive to some runs scored. The Vegas total's 9, a clean 4 implied for Baltimore, 5 for Toronto. Jordan Lyles, 6.6K against the Trevor Richards for 1 inning probably, and then Kikuchi will basically be the starter, the guy that'll get the majority of innings if he lasts.
Right.
So any feel for this game?
Yeah, this is the stack that I was referring to as the low-owned stack. What are the latest numbers on the Baltimore stack?
All right, we're going to go to stacks, and let's see where these guys stand. I'm going to
Toronto for that matter, because I like both of these stacks. So
absolutely. Okay, on DraftKings, Toronto is let me get the ownership share. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th highest, but guess what? 7%. There's no chalk today, brother. You can take anybody you want, is basically the way it comes down to. And then Baltimore's nearly no ownership, 1.4% share. On the stack.
Man, it's crazy. There's some really good BVP on the Baltimore side. And then Matt Chapman on the Toronto side. That's my home run call today. He's 7 for 19 with 4 home runs against Jordan Lyles.
Oh, so he's killed him. Chapman.
I know. And I like all the righties, at the top of that lineup. And you could probably get 3 or 4 of them and then put them with some Baltimore and some, Miami, Washington, whatever. I mean, I know this is like real contrarian, but on a bigger slate, that's kind of the approach that I want to take. So that's kind of the direction I'm leaning right now. I don't know how much of the rest of these games I'm going to have. I might have quite a bit invested early. So could be a really good night or, a short night.
Yeah, no, you're going to get off to a good start. And I'll tell you, you can't help but almost be contrarian. Like I said, there's really not chalk. I mean, it's going to be, you play your best guys, put them out there, and you don't have to really sweat the whole leverage thing much today because, you're going to get different in places, whether you try or not. I will say on Fanduel, Toronto is the 4th top stack, but only at 9%. And Baltimore way down the list at 2%, just to give you a feel there. And Yahoo, let's see if we have any change there. Because, again, nobody's even double-digit stacks on Yahoo, not one single team. Toronto's 3rd, though, at 7.5%, and Baltimore, all the way down the list at 1.4. So, you got a lot of difference there if you want to go with anybody from this lineup. Now, I love these 2 teams. I play them a lot, and I seem to get to guys from both of these squads. I don't like Lyles at all. I can tell you that. I think he's not good. Kikuchi's been a home run, waiting to happen, if you will.
Right. Yeah. That's why they knocked him out of the rotation,
Exactly. But here's the bizarre thing for me. I didn't get to a ton of guys in this game, and I want to. I think, I'm going to build another lineup and try to get some of these guys in here. I really do like Rutschman, though. I mean, I know that he's going to get in at bat against Richard, so he's going to swing from the left side. I think that, he's a switch hitter, and he's fine from the right side, just a little more pop from the left side. So he's getting a couple of at-bats against Kikuchi. They'll probably go back to a righty out of the pen. So I really like Rutschman today. He's a little expensive at 5-1, but I like the middle there. Rutschman, Santander, Mountcastle, and our man Gunnar, 2,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5. I don't think you can really be upset with those guys at all.
Yeah. Now, do you think Gunnar will get pinch hit for when they bring Kikuchi in, though, or do you think that he'll
No,
stay in there? Okay.
I think he stays in because
Okay.
Richards is probably only going to pitch an inning or two.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
yeah, they'll stick with Gunnar there. I'm not going to go to Gunnar because of the fact that he definitely is better against righties.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he'll get pinch hit for, but I just don't think he's going to be quite as effective. And there's just so many good plays today that it makes it so difficult. I mean, I'd love to get there, but probably not going to. And then on the Toronto side, we've attacked Lyles a bunch of times. And, the couple of lineups that I put together, I just didn't get any Blue Jays. And I'm not liking the fact, but Springer, Guerrero, Bichette, and Hernandez are expensive. Matt Chapman's numbers against Lyles, like you said, are absolutely ridiculous. But he's 4-7 at a position at third base that is so loaded tonight that I just was teetering. I like BVP. I know some people don't, but I do. And that BVP is a joke. I mean, are you kidding me? So it's tempting, but I don't know, Crash. I could be dead wrong here by not having some Blue Jays in my lineup. I got to maybe try to squeeze one in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have some, but I'm still kind of letting the news build my lineup today a little bit, so waiting to see what happens. But I think I have a pretty good feel for where I want to go based on the leverage on the ownership right now. So
awesome. Travis Duarte's in there. Little Monster. All right, man. Little Monster's back. Raiders 7. I love it. And you are very welcome, Raider 7. I am thankful that you're in here with us. Devers, my home run call, Little Monster. Guess what?
Yeah, he almost was my home run call today.
Well, Little Monster hit me right on the nose here. He is my home run call.
Nice. Yeah.
So Little Monster called me out. All 28 teams playing. What's 28 times 9, for God's sakes? That's a lot of players for somebody to throw a home run call in there and nail it. So shout out for Little Monster. I love it, man. That is fantastic. Garage Junk Production is back, huh?
252, isn't it?
What?
28 times 9.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, so 252
so.
players, and Little Monster grabbed my HR call. That's pretty sharp. But that is fantastic. Coach Mom's in with us today. All right. That is good. We gotta tighten up the ship now. Coach Mom gets on us if we screw up. So we gotta stay on this. All right, you know what? I want to give away a ticket right now, right off the bat. Let's give away a ticket. I know it's early in the show, but I want to do that because we definitely want to get some people in that Millie Maker, because nothing would be better if somebody could hit and then Coach Talk is the one that produced the ticket. It'd be fantastic. All right, I'm going to hit is anybody in here that hasn't commented yet? Because I'm going to hit the randomizer and give away our first ticket. Don't forget, at DFS Coach Talk, send the information there so we can PayPal you that ticket. All right, bang. The winner is Rose Miller. Didn't Rose win yesterday? Rose Miller with a W.
I don't remember that name. Well, I wasn't on the podcast yesterday, so I don't know.
I think Rose Miller might have won yesterday too, but that's all right. Multiple tickets mean multiple chances to win. So Rose, congratulations. You've won the first ticket today. I am fired up for you. All right.
Thank you, Garage Junkie Productions. He said, gently caress that like button, people. So,
absolutely. Please hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. All of that really means a lot to us for sure. King of Smacks on the Cardinals. That's going to be pretty popular, I think. But again, nothing's super over popular today. Yeah. All right, let's get on to the 7-10 game, Crash, because we're dragging behind time-wise here. I'm doing too much chirping. Chicago White Sox at the Detroit Tigers. 78 warm degrees in Detroit for mid-September. That's pretty warm. 8 mile an hour wind blowing in from right center. 7.5 low total in Vegas. 4.10 implied for the White Sox, 3.40 for the Tigers. Lucas Giolito, 7.8K for the White Sox against Matt Manning, 6.2K for the Tigers. So, is it the Sox or the Tigers here? What do you like either side here? What do you make of this crazy game?
Manning's been solid. I think you could probably get, maybe a one-off here with Chicago, but this is definitely, a pass game for me. And we can get back on track time-wise, but I don't really have a strong feeling in this game. Giolito seems a little bit underpriced, but he's probably priced where he should be based on his performing. So,
well, here's the tough part for me, Crash, is I just cannot pass up the $7,800 price tag on DraftKings. Mm-hmm. So I am reluctantly going to get jiggy with it myself here. Okay. I just think 7,800 is too cheap. And I go on this premise, and I've worn out these stats, but I can't help but to repeat them. Detroit's just historically bad. They're batting .216, which is tied for last in Major League Baseball against right-handed pitchers. Right. They strike out the fourth most, and their lineup is awful. Yeah. And I know Giolito has been shaky, but it's, look at his last 4 games. I'll take any 4 of these games right now. 31 against Oakland, 24 Minnesota, 22 Kansas City, 35 against Baltimore. And then he had a tough one against Houston, but then he had a 36 against Detroit. So that's the key here, is he went 7 innings on August 13th and struck out 7. And then he had 33 against Texas, 36 against KC. So, again, I'm not expecting him to blow the doors in, but if he can get a low 30s number for me, like he's been getting against this pathetic Detroit team at 7,800, it allows me to get that extra big power bat into my lineup. So, yeah, risky, but I think as my value play today, 7,800 on DraftKings, 9,000 on Fanduel, and only 37 on Yahoo.
Yeah, my only concern, and this is kind of why I ended up not playing Giolito, is because if he gets blown up and doesn't get the strikeouts, I mean, he's given up 9 runs in 2 starts against Detroit this year. So if he gets, 4 or 5 runs, but he doesn't get 8 strikeouts like he has been, he could be in some trouble. So that's kind of what put me off of him. But I definitely see the play at that price. I mean, this is Lucas Giolito. He's capable of a 50 or 60 point night. So,
well, I don't know about that, but I just don't know how much I would trust Detroit to score those 4 or 5 runs. Yeah. That's what I'm counting on. So,
I mean, he put up 52 against San Francisco 3 weeks ago, so he is capable of it.
He is, and it was really neck and neck between him and Luzardo for my second pitcher, and Giolito's just nosed ahead at this point. So, we will see. How about any hitting then from this group?
I went with Gavin Sheets yesterday. He hit a home run.
Yes,
I will say Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew Vaughn gets the at bat here. Okay. I doubt I'm going to go to any hitting in this game. I mean, Manning's been a little better. It is warm though in Detroit, so maybe a one-off if I can fit him. But as of now, I don't have anything built up there. All right, let's go to the next one. 7:10 Minnesota Twins at the Cleveland Guardians. 75 degrees in Cleveland. No wind to speak of. 7.5 is the Vegas total. 3.41 implied for the Twins. 4.09 for the Guardians. Bailey Ober, 7.4K against Tristan McKenzie, 9.6K. What is your lean in this one, Crash?
I don't really have one. I just, this game is a pass for me. So here's an interesting stat though, Coach, is I looked up who's given up the most home runs, because I know at one point Tristan McKenzie was towards the top. He's not anymore. He's probably towards the middle. You know who number 1 is with the most home runs allowed this year?
I think it's Josiah Gray.
It is 36 home runs. So for him to be the highest or one of the highest owned pitchers on FanDuel, that is a red flag.
It is a surprising stat, and you can look it up. I mean, I looked at it too. That's what I know, that he's going against a team that stinks, but again, he gives up a lot of gopher balls, and they're all Major League Baseball players, so
that just totally, because I just wanted to see, because I knew at one point McKenzie was up towards the top, and I was going to say maybe you could stack against him, but I wouldn't do that, especially without Buxton in their lineup. But just the fact that Josiah Gray had given up the most home runs, that just jumped off the page. So I had to mention that. But yeah, I don't have a strong feel for this game. This is a pass for me.
Do I win a free ticket for getting the trivia question answered? No. I thought maybe you'd send me a free ticket, but that's all right. I'm good with it. All right, you know what? I want to look at.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I thought you were going to give me a free ticket because
I'll send you a free ticket. I thought
Josiah Gray. I mean,
out of all the pitchers in baseball,
and I didn't look it up. I instantaneously answered. So
yeah, I'll send you a free ticket. I thought you were asking somebody in the audience.
The check's in the mail. I've heard that story before. Yeah. What was I looking at here? Okay, Tristan McKenzie right now, 9,600 is a little pricey. Now he's grabbing 9% ownership, but he does have a 13% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. So I know if he has one of those monster strikeout games, he could shake things up. There's no question about that. And then Ober, of course, not getting any ownership on the other side. All right. As far as I'm concerned in that game, though, it's, I respect both of these teams enough that certainly don't like any of the pitching, and just so many good options of where to go. I didn't find myself landing on this game a whole lot. I think that it's the weather's good in Cleveland, warmer than normal for this time of year, but just didn't feel real strong about it. Nick Gordon at 3K at clean up for Minnesota would be the guy I'd think about if I had another spot.
Yeah, I guess Arias is okay. I saw he was hurt the other day, but I guess he's okay. He's bleeding off. But yeah. Did you see that comment the boy from Cali made? I guess
no, I did not. I have
Schroeder's
not looked
going back to the Lakers.
Who is?
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
They offered him all that money originally, and he didn't take it. Now he's going back. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Vanessa, you claim your ticket by going to Twitter. Go to @DFS Coach Talk, or you can just, as it says right below my picture here, @Joe Servati, if you want to go to me directly, and just give us your name and your PayPal email, and we'll shoot the cash over to you to get that ticket. So that's how you claim it. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, Crash. I think it is got to keep this train moving. It's the Kansas City Royals at the Boston Red Sox. This game is at 7:10 as well. 9 is the total, 68 comfortable, sort of cool degrees in Boston. A slight breeze left to right, 6 miles an hour. 3.67 implied for the Royals, a nice 5.33 for the Red Sox. Jonathan Heasley, 5.6K against Michael Wacha, 9.2K. This is a key game for me, Crash, because my favorite stack of the night is the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're also the highest owned. Is that correct?
I will go ahead and give us your breakdown on this game. I'm going to pull up stacks, and we'll look through it real quick. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot in this game. I originally had planned on stacking Boston, liked them a lot, but their ownership is too high for me. Based on what I saw last anyway, if that changes, I could definitely get back on Boston. At this point, I just like Devers. And that's really about it for me in this game. There's not a whole lot else I like. I mean, I'm a big Salvador Perez fan, but that's maybe, on DraftKings and Yahoo where I have to have a catcher. Maybe I could go there. He is 4 for 13 with a home run against Michael Wacha, but not a whole lot outside of that, I don't think, if ownership is way up there still.
Well, it's I guess all the way you slice it up. 13.8% is their ownership share projected right now on DraftKings. That is number one, but sometimes that's number 5 or 6.
Right.
So it's all relative. So to me, I'm back in that scenario where I have no concern the fact that they're the number one stack, because 13.8%, that's not much. I don't think.
No, I don't think that's that bad. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to get a little bit contrarian because I haven't had a lot of success on these bigger slates. So I'm obviously going to change something.
Well, I'm hoping that a lot of people have that thought. I'm hoping people look at it and say, okay, Boston's the top stack. I'm going to not go, leverage wise, go with them. And I think it's an error, because I think they're in the best spot. And that number, if it was 33.8, then we'd have a different conversation. But at 13.8 on DraftKings, I'll take that every time. Kansas City getting respect too, by the way, against Waka. They're 4th at 7.5%. So, and people starting to respect that those young hitters at the top of that lineup. And then on FanDuel, same thing, 13.5% for Boston. KC way further down the list. They're at 4.3%. So you can definitely get a little bit different on FanDuel if you take some of the KC hitters. And then on when we go to, let's see here, ownership for Yahoo, Boston's 9% Crash, which is number 1. So that's fine with me. Kansas City way down the list at 5. So, I feel good about my Boston stack. I'm going to be pretty aggressive with it. I'm not a massive stacker with my hand builds, but my initial lineup that I have, I'm going heavy, like Devers, Bogarts, Verdugo, kind of heavy. So I really like the Red Sox here, and I don't mind coming back on the other side with a Kansas City bat or two. The problem is they have the 3 guys have been playing forever, Melendez, Witt, and at the top of that lineup, and then a little bit of Sal Perez. They're all priced up now. But what about our buddy Vinny Pasquantino, Deadman 2K?
Yeah, definitely in play. He's somebody we haven't heard much from, but I know he came out of the gates on fire when he first got brought up. So, at cleanup, looks like he's batting cleanup. Is that what you show?
He's batting cleanup, and that right field. All you got to do just hook one down that by the pesky pole down there, and it's a home run. A regular fly ball in most places is a home run. So, I love this game. This will be the key game on the slate for me, Crash.
Yeah, no, I do. I like it too. It's just the ownership was kind of pulling me away from it. But 9%, that's not bad at all. I may end up with, at least 2 or 3 Boston bats now. So
and Rafael Devers is my Devers. Why do I always say Devers and Devers?
I think it's I don't know.
It's Devers, and I don't know why I'm saying Devers. I think you said Devers, and it got stuck in my thick skull. But it's Rafael Devers.
Yeah, so Devers I'll definitely have, but he's at third base, and so is
that's
Matt.
The thick. That's
call. So
that's right.
Utilize the utility position with those two.
And Manny Machado's a great call tonight too. So third base is stacked.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're playing FanDuel, use that utility spot for a second third baseman for sure.
For sure.
Let's see. Anybody else comments in here? Let's see. Joined Crash. What do you think about Hauser? You're getting
I know.
You're getting a Brewers question.
Yeah, I'll get into that when we get to that game. But I think I can talk her off of that ledge. So
good. All right, let's dive back in. We're going to go to 7:10 Pirates and Mets. It is 73 degrees in New York. Beautiful night for baseball. No wind. 7.5 total. Paltry 2.84 for the Buccos. 4.66 for the Mets. Mitch Keller, 7.2K 2K versus Tyon Walker, 8K flat. What do you think?
Yeah, this is actually my value pitcher. I hope people overlook him because he's been, he's had his moments where he's struggled against, the stronger teams, just like a lot of pitchers have. But against these lower quality teams, I mean, he's put up some pretty strong numbers, including his best start of the year last time out against the Marlins. He had 10 strikeouts, allowed only 1 run, 58 fantasy points. And, Pittsburgh strikes out the second highest rate. So I think it's definitely there for the potential for him to have a very strong game. So I hope he does.
Yeah, I thought about him. He's 5th highest owned on DraftKings at 18%, which is, still very respectable number.
Mm-hmm.
He's 4th highest on Fanduel, only 8.5%. And on Yahoo, he is, let's see, Yahoo, he is, where's he at? Way down the list, 8.5%, like 10th on the list. So
okay.
Yahoo could be the place you could get sneaky with him.
Yeah, he is 38. That's not bad at all.
No, not whatsoever. What else? Any bats here other than that?
Yeah, I think I definitely like Pete Alonso. And who was the other guy that I liked here? I don't think he's in the lineup. I don't see.
Their starting lineups.
Nimmo, I don't see him in the lineup.
Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso, Vogelbach, Deb's buddy Mike Marcana,
right?
Guillermo, Escobar, and Nito.
Yeah, I think it was McCann, but he's not in the lineup. So that's the other guy I like. And Vogelbach, too. I think I liked him, too. Plus, it's a revenge game going against a team that traded him.
So. That is true. Vogelbach might not be a bad play. I don't have a lot of anything in this game except my second favorite stack. I tricked you. I love the Mets here. Yeah. I think Mitch Keller's not good. That's the best way to politely put it. Yeah. 3 lefties at the top with Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, and then Alonso, Vogelbach, another lefty, Guillermo at the bottom, Escobar from the left side. So I love grabbing a bunch of Mets. I will have a lot of Mets and Red Sox tonight, and you can get away if you skip around some of the Mets lineup here as far as ownership goes price-wise, because Nimmo's 5K, McNeil's only 4.8. I think Alonso's a fair 5.6. Lindor 5.9 is a little tough, but then you get super cheap with the rest of that lineup. Vogelbach on down, so you can go 3 Mets and not feel real concerned about it. And they're not getting a ton of ownership, so I'm thrilled with that. The fact that you can get them at single digits as far as a stack today against Keller. I mean, I don't respect Keller. Do you?
No, I don't. Now, did you say Guillermo? What did you say his last name was?
Yeah, let me see. Where am I talking about? I'm talking about.
You're talking about Lewis.
Yeah,
Luis Guillorme, I believe. That's
Guillorme,
right.
Correct. What I say, Guillermo?
Guillermo, I think.
No, I didn't say pronounce the L.
Something like that. But
you said Lewis, and I said it's Luis. So between the two of us, we've offended his entire family.
Isn't he Italian? Isn't that an Italian name?
No, he's Hispanic, but that's a good try, though. So, Luis, maybe we need to put you in there at your cheap 2.7 salary, because now he's ticked off that we butchered his name.
Yeah, it's Guillorme, but it is Luis.
Guillorme.
Right?
Luis Guillorme.
Venezuelan. So
there you go. McNeil, yes, Parrish. I love McNeil. He is going to be lock, stock, and barrel for me tonight. Definitely. All right, Crash. Let's keep moving. 7:20 Phillies, Braves. We have 81 degrees in Atlanta, light breeze blowing in from left at 5 miles an hour. Low Vegas total again. All the numbers seem to be down. Low scoring numbers in Vegas tonight. 7.5, 3 implied for Philly, 4.5 for the Braves. Ranger Suarez, the lefty against fellow lefty Max Fried. Fried chicken tonight. Max Fried Chicken is my fade pitcher.
Ooh,
Crash.
That's bold.
What's that for gutsy?
That's bold. That's definitely bold. Yeah, Real Muto, he's the other catcher I like. He has some really good numbers against Fried. And I like Acuna and Riley, which no surprise there. And Olsen can hit lefties too. So, Suarez, he's been decent, but I could see him struggling here a little bit. So wouldn't mind getting to some of these Braves bats.
Yeah, I like the hitters better than the pitchers in this game, which, doesn't seem to be that popular. But Real Muto's my BVP play of the day. He's 11 for 31 against Fried. 1127 OPS, 774 slugging, 353 OBP, and that 355 average. 3 homers, 9 RBIs. And he's sandwiched in between all the other good hitters on that squad with Harper and Bohm, and even Harper as lefty has hit 348 against him with 2 bombs. So
yeah, he does.
Not going to get any breaks at the top of that order,
Yeah, for sure. And Hoskins isn't even in the lineup. So yeah, that's Bohm can definitely hit lefties. He'd probably be, somebody lower owned, I would think. But
he's getting more and more popular. But Fried hasn't exactly been super sharp lately anyway. So
true.
I think, at his price, I just thought he was really overpriced for what looks to me to be a fairly tough matchup.
Yeah, I agree. Another guy I'll call out is for some value is Matt Vierling. I've talked about him a couple times on this podcast recently against lefties, so you could definitely go there too.
2.3K, definitely cheap. All right, 8-10 Crash. We go to the Dome in Houston, Oakland at Houston, and this is probably the biggest question on everybody's mind is, what's the scoop with Verlander? How deep is he going to go? First game back after the IL stint. It's only a 7.5 total, a ridiculous 2.35 for Oakland implied, and a nice 5.15 for Houston. So this is the game momentum-wise. People, I think, are starting to want to go to Verlander, starting to want to stack Houston. Are you buying either side of that? Adrian Martinez, 6.4K against Verlander at 11K.
Yeah, I mean, Verlander has really good numbers against Oakland. 3 of his last 4 starts at home, he hasn't allowed a run against them. In his career, in 11 starts, he's averaged 41.6 fantasy points a game against Oakland. So really good numbers. I don't know if I'm going to get there for 2 reasons. One, because of his price. The other, because isn't there a chance that he'll have a pitch count tonight?
I would assume that he will. I mean, why would you have a huge lead? You just want to keep him sharp. If he goes more than 4 or 5 innings, I would really be surprised. I mean, I didn't see that, so don't take that as gospel. I mean, I have no idea. I have looked, but not seen what the plan is for him tonight. But it makes no sense why they would push him to go deep here.
Yeah.
And at 11,000, if he does, let's say he goes a couple of 3-2 counts early and gets a decent pitch count up there, he may only go 4 innings. And why would you want to spend 11K? He is getting interest. He's almost 20% owned on DraftKings right now, as far as what we're projecting. And then on he's only 8% though owned on Fanduel, the one pitcher site, at 11 as well. And then on Yahoo, he's more popular, 22% owned, projected at $57, which is really expensive. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. He could strike out however many he wants against this terrible Oakland team because they are bad.
Yeah.
But I don't see the risk reward, just doesn't make sense to me there.
Yeah. And you can kind of see it on PrizePicks right now. So they have his strikeout prop at 5.5. They have his pitcher fantasy scores not on the board. So to me, that kind of makes me think they're definitely thinking that he's going to be, pulled after.
Exactly. Massive red flag. And boy from Cali, for me, he's going to be 100% fade. And I know it's a hard call to make. But if he pitches more than 5 innings, I really would be very surprised.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, they've got this thing locked up.
Yeah. So. It's not like they're in a pennant race. I mean, It'd be different if it was tied up and, they needed this. They don't need it at all. They just want to keep him fresh. So that's what I'm doing, Crash. Popular or not popular. What about the Houston stack, which is gaining momentum?
Yeah, I do like Houston. Kyle Tucker and Alvarez, the lefties, would be my favorites here. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all these guys in. It's going to be a pinch salary-wise. So we'll see where I end up. But if I do, it'll definitely be those 2 lefties from Houston.
Yeah, and I think Houston is just priced high. It's so hard to get there. Yeah. I like Yordan Alvarez. I'm back on the bandwagon, Crash. I took a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
But he's had multiple hits 2 of the last 3 games, getting back into a groove. I think he sits on one. He was super close to being my home run call today. He's 5'9", so it's not easy. But, I'm going to use some of that Giolito money on Mr. Alvarez today that I'm saving.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 8-10. We've got the Yankees and Brewers, so you can answer that Hauser question.
Yeah.
It's 8 total in Milwaukee, 4.13 implied for the Yankees, which is actually pretty low. 3.87 for the Brewers. Montas at 8.4 against Hauser at a clean 6K if you want to save the big bucks.
Yeah. To answer her question, as far as Hauser goes, his last 3 starts, he's allowed 1 and 0 runs, but that was against Cincinnati. He did pitch at Coors, so that I can give him some credit for that. And then Pittsburgh, and he only pitched 2 innings in that game. So if you look at, what he's done lately, it looks good on the surface, but none of those teams are the Yankees. And as I talked to you about this morning, he's not the kind of command pitcher that he's going to be able to just kind of nibble around the edges against some of these power hitters. He's going to have to throw that sinker, and if it's not sinking, then they're going to end up in the bleachers. So if he gives up 2 or 3 home runs, definitely wouldn't surprise me at all. So no, I would not play Hauser on this game.
Okay. Any exposure to this game in general?
Yeah, I do like Tellez. He's my home run call from the Brewers today. I kind of have that, every game the Brewers play, I have that one guy that kind of stands out, and he's the one that's doing that for me today. And Aaron Judge, I mean, how do you not play him? His salary is the only issue, but I think he's got a great chance to hit 1, maybe even 2 home runs against Hauser. So
well, I'm still with my school of thought that why would you pitch to the damn guy?
Yeah,
I mean, Stanton. I think maybe I could get Stanton out at this point. Have you seen him swing the bat? He looks like he's going to hit a home run. Years old. He looks like he's 65 years old, man. He swings a bat like he's throwing a stick at I don't know what, but I know I'm talking major garbage about him, but man, it's been painful to watch him. So my point being is, as much as I think Judge is awesome, I don't see the Yankees bats behind him. Vegas is starting to catch on. Look at that implied total. They're just not hitting up and down that lineup at all.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm going to not spend that top dollar for him. But I mean, if they throw to him, they're idiots, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And that's part of the reason why, not to jump to our prop plays, but my prop plays from this game with Hauser. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath in this game, but I will not have any exposure to it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
We move on to St. Louis. If Lanny's watching, his Cardinals Cincinnati Reds at the St. Louis Cardinals. 81 warm ones in St. Louis. No win to speak of. 8.5 Vegas total. 311 for the Reds. 539 for the Cardinals. A popular stack, I think. It is Fernando Cruz and Raynel Espinal splitting the duties. 4K there with the starter. And then Jack Flaherty, who is dead to me after his fiasco the last time I played him. Reds, Cardinals, what are you looking at here?
Man, it's tough. I mean, this is probably 2 weeks now that we've been saying we're waiting on the Cardinals to start playing like the Cardinals.
They have not.
They have not been playing well. Goldschmidt hasn't hit a home run in almost 10 days. So I do like Goldschmidt here. Other than that, you could get, some of the Flaherty, as you mentioned, has been struggling quite a bit. So Fredo Fraley Farmer, the law firm, that we like to refer to.
Yeah.
Aquino has some power. You could go look at him as a low-owned bat. But, outside of that, I don't have a whole lot of interest in this game. But I do think Goldschmidt's a really good, home run candidate if you're playing that kind of prop bet or something. So.
And Flaherty's grabbing double-digit ownership, though. So, I get it because it's at home in St. Louis, Pitchers Park. Cincinnati's not that good. He's, in the top 7 or 8 on most of the sites here, 12 to 14% ownership share. But, I mean, we watched him. We watched every stinking pitch recently with him, and he just has not been sharp. For me, it's just a one-off on either side here. I'd love to say, let's play Arenado and Goldschmidt, all these guys, but just you gotta be realistic,
right?
Salary wise, and you've gotta draw the line somewhere. Now, there are a few cheaper bats you can get in some different spots. Somebody's asking about Steer? He's batting 8th for the Reds. So I don't know, at 2.8K down in the 8 hole, a little bit tough, but probably not going to go there. I mean, especially you got to take a first or third base spot up, which is really stacked tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I'm ready to move on to the next one, Coach.
3 games left, late night slate. Here it is. 3-gamer after hours, 9:38 Seattle Mariners, Los Angeles Angels. We have 73 degrees in LA, a little breeze out to center at 8 miles an hour. It is an 8 total in Vegas, triple fours for the Mariners, 444, 356, 3.56 implied for the Angels. Robbie Ray, the lefty, 9.8K against Michael Lorenzen at 6.8K. What do you got?
Yeah, I do like Robbie Ray, and if you know me, I'm not usually a Robbie Ray guy. But he's had, 3 starts against the Angels, 52, 52, and 58 fantasy points.
Exactly.
So very, very consistent. This lineup strikes out the most in baseball. So there's a couple reasons right there to take him. And the third reason is it looks like his ownership is not really that high. So
I know.
Yeah.
He's not highly owned. Robbie Ray's my buy-a pitcher too, Crash. And I would say you and I have a lot of times he's been our fade pitcher. We have not been on Robbie Ray much this year. But those 3 performances against LA are fantastic. Yeah. And, I'm not even going to have the courage to watch Ohtani and Trout's at bat. I'll change the channel.
Yeah.
But anybody else in that lineup, I'm not afraid of. And
right.
I think that the fact that just no respect at all, a single-digit ownership projections, and he's been a good pitcher this year for the most part. 9% on DraftKings right now. Would you believe if I told you he's 3.8% projected on Fanduel? Talk about disrespecting a decent pitcher on this slate.
Wow. And you're going to play Josiah Gray over him? Are you kidding?
Josiah Gray is on FanDuel 11.6% projection. Robbie Ray 3.8.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, that to me is surprising. And then a little bit more on FanDuel though, on Yahoo, 18% on Yahoo. So he is getting some play there. So it's a little bit tougher there. He's 9,800 on DraftKings, 10-6, which is a lot on Fanduel, and 50 on Yahoo. But again, those three performances all over 50 against the Angels. He only went 5 innings against the Braves, so he should be able to go deep. He often goes over 100 pitches. I just think it's a really, really good spot for him, and he is going to be my key pitcher tonight.
Yeah, I totally agree. I cannot believe that Josiah Gray is that much higher owned than Robbie Ray. That's
DFS. You just never know how things are going to roll.
Right.
As far as the Mariners bats, I think you could get to Ty France fairly cheap. Haniger should be back in the lineup. Of course, Rodriguez and Suarez have been their studs lately. So you can grab a bat or two from Seattle as well. I don't think Lorenzen is anything to write home about, especially like the lefties against him.
Yeah, he's not. And I actually like a couple of his former teammates. I like Winker and Suarez both. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they both played, against him or played, with him, and now they're against him, and they know a little bit more about him, and they have some good BVP against him, both of them. So, yeah.
Very cool. All right, 940, San Diego Padres, Arizona Diamondbacks, last 2 games on the board. My man Stone Garrett is leading off for the Diamondbacks.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is a confirmed lineup. Lock him in, guys. 2.4K. I had Garrett in my lineup today. He's in my build already, and I had no idea he was leading off. Now he's going to be like 4 times owned what he was,
right?
Because he's leading off. But I love it, man. I love that spot for him.
Yeah.
So it's the lineup, for some reason they've already got their lineup confirmed, which is odd. So 940 game, Padres Diamondbacks, 8 is the total, 459 for the Padres, 3.41 implied for the Diamondbacks. Blake Snell, the lefty, 9.4K. He crushed my spirit the other day. Madison Bumgarner, also the lefty, 5.8K. What is your ownership in this one, sir?
Man, this stack, to me, you would think, but they don't have the numbers to back it up. But Arizona looks like, a good GPP stack against Blake Snell if he's going to be that high owned. But maybe because of Stone Garrett and Emmanuel Rivera, I can get to them. But, I mean, they got guys that are like 0 for 15, Walker, 2 for 20, Marte. Really bad numbers against Snell. So maybe the Garretts and the Riveras and the Alcantara and Perdomo, those kind of guys, I can get to at very low ownership and stay away from bigger names because the matchup is not there in their favor according to the history. So yeah, on the San Diego side, it's not just because it is partially because I'm cheering for the Padres to lose and the Brewers to get the wild card, but I haven't really been impressed with the way San Diego's looked for quite a while. So and Arizona's been, a little bit hot of late. So I could definitely see Arizona winning this game.
It's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's in the bag for Snell like a lot of people think. I mean, San Diego is getting a decent amount of ownership in the stacks. And even though there's no big chalk, San Diego's one of them getting a lot of respect across the board. A couple of real quick things to comment on from chat. I agree with the Tampa Bay Rays being a sneaky stack today. I'm not a Martin Perez guy at all, and I do like some of those right-handed bats. I love Franco, Wander Franco, and Randy Arozarena if you can fit them in. So I didn't mention that when we went by it, but somebody had put it in there, and I do think that is a very sneaky, low-owned stack that could grab you something. Really good. Arizona will crush tonight, according to Lanuka A. How you doing, Lanuka, by the way? Great to have you in here with us. I mean, that might be a good play if you want to go with somebody that's you're going to get good odds on. They're a plus 155 right now. The D-backs are. It's just pretty hard to really count on Madison Bumgarner. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him. I just think that, the Arizona bats, I could see them potentially giving some trouble to Snell. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the Diamondbacks lineup is a lot different today too. Garrett Rivera, Marte Walker, Kelly Varsho, Alcantara, Carroll, and Perdomo. So you've got, a real different look to that lineup.
yeah.
I'm not, not stacking either side, but Garrett certainly in play for me. One off from the Padres side. I wanted to stick with Soto because I've been going with him and he's been absolutely terrible. I mean, it would have been not just a profitable night last night. It'd have been takedown city, and we got the golden goose egg from Soto last night.
Yeah.
So I'm, not wanting to go back to him. I will say Machado is a super dangerous play. 5.6 is expensive though, but his stats, he's hit 3 home runs against Baumgartner. Yeah. So definitely scary if you can fit him at third. But again, third base is just chock full of good players tonight for sure.
Sure.
Soto and Bell were supposed to make San Diego better. Yeah, tell me about it. They spent a lot of money on those guys. What crushed that team spirit is their PED guys, Tatis Jr. When he got busted and knocked out, I think they all just gave up.
I think so too. It really, if you look at it, they have really tailed off since then.
Oh, they've been terrible.
He hasn't been. Now of late, he's been better ever since they benched him, and now he's come back into that closer role. Yeah. But he's really cost them 4 or 5 games already, and he's only been there for a couple of months. So.
Yeah, they're terrible. The Reds pitcher, somebody asked, I wouldn't think about either one of them at all. You've got a starter that'll go a couple innings possibly, and then a placement guy, maybe 3-4 innings in Fernando Cruz and Reynel Espinal. They're both 4K, but on a slate like this, I would not touch either one of them with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Last game on the slate crash. We got to get on down the road here. We got lineups to post. Los Angeles Dodgers, San Francisco Giants, 59 degrees in San Fran. So welcome back to the Bay, the marine layer, the cold. They say a wind blowing out, but I don't buy it. We know that it swirls around there. You hit the ball to center, it doesn't go anywhere. This game was a perplexing head scratcher for me all day. 7.5 is the total, 4.17 applied for the Dodgers, triple threes for the Giants. Dustin May, who's gotten smoked lately since he came back from being out, 8.2K, 2K. Logan Webb, 8.9K for the Giants. Any feel in this game? I thought about Logan Webb for a while, and I didn't have the guts to do it. But I don't know. I'm not keen on either pitcher, even though it's conducive to pitching.
Yeah, it's hard to say because, like with the Dodgers, they don't have it clinched yet completely for home field, but they're really close. And they did clinch the division. I don't know how hard they're going to, play at the end of the year to win these games. They might have a few more games where they try really hard, but I think at some point they'll probably ease up. And I do like Mookie Betts, though. He's my BVP play.
Okay.
He is what I do with that. I just had that pulled up. 450 against Logan Webb, 9 hits and 20 at bats with 7 singles and 2 doubles. So no home run, but really good numbers there. So BVP, Mookie Betts. On the San Francisco side, May had that really good start against Miami, but he's kind of tailed off since then. So
big time.
Do you have any love for any of these Giants bats, or?
I do not. I don't.
It's your friendly park, So.
The reason the game is perplexing to me is I respect both pitchers enough that I would not stack against them. Right. And certainly pitching in that stadium where we've seen, like I say, I'd say it all the time, but you can hit an absolute rocket to center and it just doesn't go out.
Yeah,
it's a hard place to hit.
Yeah, I know.
So I respect both pitchers enough that I don't want to take hitters. I respect the hitting enough that I just can't quite get to the pitchers.
Right.
So unfortunately, I really don't, have much ownership here of any kind.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Hopefully it's one of those 3-2 games or something. Nobody gets anything great on either side if we're passing it. So if you're
7.5.
playing the after hours slate, though, I would concentrate on the other 2 games over this one myself.
Yeah, me too. Do you see the 7.5 total? Is that what you see?
Yes.
I could definitely see the under on that.
Yeah, it's 7.5. And Dodgers are 163 favorites. So, all right, let's really quickly look in the chat. Do we have anything that's jumped out? Any other questions we didn't answer? And then we are gonna give away another ticket, and we're gonna give our prize picks and Boom Fantasy picks, and then get on down the road. My system went down. Top stacks on Fanduel. Anyone? What are the top stacks on Fanduel? As far as you're talking projections, I can tell you.
Talking about our top stacks.
Oh, our top stacks. Well, we'll go over that right now. In fact, well, let me do, in case he's asking the other thing as well. Go ahead, give him. Let's go through your review of your pay ups and stacks and all that stuff.
My pay up pitcher is Robbie Ray. My value pitcher is Taijuan Walker. My fade is Justin Verlander. My stacks are Toronto, Baltimore, and who else did I say? I had somebody else, I think. Mainly Toronto and Baltimore.
Okay.
And I might get to the lefties from Houston. And then I had a couple one-offs from that Miami-Washington game, which I think is going to be very contrarian.
Okay, excellent. Somebody said, do we like Vogelbach? Crash mentioned Vogelbach. He's on him. I sort of like him as part of my mini stack. I like the revenge game narrative there too. Jock revenge. That could be something.
Dodgers. Yeah. Do that.
Could be something. Again, that park scares me though. Yeah. King of Smack, I'm going to answer all your questions for you. What I will tell you, just so you do know, on FanDuel, which you asked, the ownership stack-wise right now, Boston's number 1 at 13, San Diego second at 12, Houston 9, Toronto 9, Seattle 6, Mets 5, and then it's down from there. So no heavy chalk anywhere per se. My favorite stacks across the board here are Boston and the Mets. That's where I'm going to be going with a lot of them, especially heavier on Boston. Probably the meat of that order are going to be in most of my lineups. Robbie Ray's my pay up. I'm going to get jiggy with it with Mr. Giolito as my value play and cross my fingers. I do think Luzardo's not a bad value play as well. Max Fried Chicken is my fade. Real Muto, BVP, Devers, and all of the above is my HR call. And now let's give our
prize picks.
Crash, what do you got?
Yeah, before I do, my HR call was Matt Chapman. My BVP was Mookie Betts. So I forgot
All
to say.
Right, excellent.
Yeah.
Prize picks plays of the day. Let's give 2 out. I've got 4 listed already in Discord for our members.
Okay. I've got Adrian Hauser over 1.5 walks. I think you can get that Judge alone. And then Mookie Betts over 7.5 fantasy score. All he needs is a single and a stolen base or a bunch of different combinations that he can get to. So
I'm going to get on that Hauser play because I think he intentionally walks him twice, and there you go.
There you go. Yep.
I like Robbie Ray over 37.5 fantasy score. I think he's totally disrespected on this slate, not getting any ownership. He's pitched well, and I think he steps up against a team that he's had 50 plus in his 3 previous outings against, and I'll take the 37.5 over. For sure. My second is play. I'm going to the well. I'm the Jordan Alvarez whisperer. 8.5 is his total. I'm hoping he goes deep today. I hope he gets that with a couple of doubles. He's in that nice home ballpark, and feel good about Jordan Alvarez. How about Boom Fantasy, our presenting sponsor? What are your top 2 plays there?
I've got Goldschmidt more than Arenado total bases. That's on the Pick'em Toss-Ups matchups play. Okay. And then the Pick'em Toss-Up Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. I don't think they're going to walk him every time, and I think he can at least hit a double. So
sounds good. For my top play on 2 plays on Boom Fantasy, I'm going to go Rafael Devers over a half a hit. I think he's my home run call, so that would be considered a hit.
right.
And I'm going to go Lucas Giolito over 17 and a half pitching outs. I think he gets 6 innings in at least against this Detroit squad, if you want to call them a squad.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. Yeah.
Yep. All right. That is it, I think. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
I do want to give one more ticket away. I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to give one more ticket away. Boom. It is Travis Duarte. Travis Duarte has won a ticket. You make sure and send us at DFS Coach Talk. Let us know, and we'll get that PayPal'd over to you so you can get that down. Anything else, Crash?
No, I think we've covered everything, and hopefully we crush this slate tonight. I'm ready to take something down. I've never really had that happen on these bigger slates, so hopefully it's tonight.
This is my sweet spot, so I'm expecting to do well. We really do appreciate you guys spending this time with us. We know there's a lot of other podcasts going on at this moment. And the fact that you chose to be with us is fantastic. We hope to see you again every day. We're definitely going to be in here for you in front of the paywall. Tomorrow we've got 2 podcasts. We've got the baseball at 5 p.m. Is it 5 p.m. tomorrow, Crash? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll double check it. And then we have 8 o'clock. We've got the NFL podcast for Sunday that we do tomorrow night. So join us for both of them for sure. And if you hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and click the little alert. This way you know when our podcast posts and you won't miss out on anything. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Boom Fantasy. And if you want to join us here at DFS Coach Talk, go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for any of our memberships there. Thank you, everybody. Payne, Lanuka, King of Smack, Tony A., Boy from Cali, all our regulars. We really do appreciate you. And we will be back again tomorrow for a double podcast as we look to crush it in MLB and NFL, DFS, and Boom Fantasy.